So other day, what's today? Today is Wednesday. So I think this was Monday. I did this. I don't even know. It was a day ago. This says right here. So about a day ago, I put out a post. Put out a post and basically saying that I'm removing the taxes and insurance from my mortgage payment immediately, but will still pay the monthly escrow payment into a high yield savings account and earn my own interest. What's the best banks offering the highest APY currently? All right. So I put this out and let me read my disclaimer. Only remove escrow if you are disciplined to make escrow payment to yourself, save the money, and not spend it. So this drew up a lot of conversation, a lot of comments. Over 1,000 likes were on this, and one day, and then we had a bunch of comments of people just putting a whole bunch of banks in the comments. I mean, we got a couple of them. Sophie, Public. I mean, there was just people saying they just did this. We got people talking about U.S. Alliance Credit Union. I mean, go to my Instagram page, MG the Mortgage Guy. There's a ton of banks in the comments, and I kind of did this for everybody to kind of see like all the banks and everything like that. Not just always, it's good to have participation. That's why I'm always saying type something in chat, this, that, and the third, because especially a post like this, I could have just listed in the comments, hey, here's 5 banks or something like that I researched so far. But I wanted to get it from you guys, but I knew it will also draw people to have their own opinions and start saying things that they're doing, because I want you guys to be inspired and motivated and also see what people like yourself are doing, not just people like myself who sit behind the cameras and shit like that you get information from. Like, look at the audience, right? It's always good to network the people. I always say this, like when you're inside of certain rooms, you got to network, right? Also in the comments is a good networking way, then sliding people DMs too at the same time. So there was a lot of good information in the comments of various different banks that are offering high yield savings. People were talking about money markets and things like that. So let me go through a couple things first and foremost, right? Let me remove this from the screen real quick. First of all, let's go. Let me get back in the screen. Where am I? Okay. So for me, first things first. First things first. For me, again, I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of seeing my escrow analysis and seeing that my mortgage payment is increasing because either my taxes or my insurance is increasing. And that just happened to me again. And me personally, my mortgages are on auto pay. I really don't pay too much attention to the websites. Everything is digital. I don't get paper mail, right? And unless I am in the website itself, I'm really not paying attention to the account on a regular basis unless I need to go in there for whatever particular reason, right? And sometimes the emails, truth be told, I get hundreds of emails on a daily basis. I can't keep up with this shit, just like most people. So you might miss your escrow analysis. You might miss certain things because it's just a lot happening. So for me, when I see the escrow analysis and I see that my payment is going up, not by much. All right. My escrow was short about $800. So it would increase my payment, I don't know, 60, $70. But it was the principle to me, right? It was the principle. It's like, damn, this thing just keeps going up. I'm I'm actually sick of this. But it got me to think, like, wait a minute. Why am I continuing paying my escrow and my mortgage payment for? I really don't need to. Now, first of all, if you have an FHA mortgage, you cannot remove your escrow. If you have a FHA mortgage, you cannot remove your escrow. If you have a conventional mortgage, you can remove your escrow. Type in chat what kind of mortgage you have. So I said to myself, you know what? Let me go to this damn bank's website and let me check out my mortgage statement, my escrow analysis, and let me see what's really happening here. And I said to myself, as I'm looking on this, they had a tab that said remove your escrow. And I said, oh, perfect, because I was looking for this. I need to remove my damn escrow. That's the whole purpose of me coming to this damn website. So I hit the escrow, remove my escrow, and it gave me a message. The message said, you are unable to remove your escrow because you are at 81% LTV. And I said, wait a minute, that can't be right, because I know I have a lot more than 20% equity in this house. So I couldn't remove it on the website, but I said, you know what? 81% LTV. I know they're probably going off the original sales price of the property, not even the appraised value at that time, because my house appraised more than what I purchased it for. But I said they're probably going off the original sales price of 4 or 5 years ago. I said, okay, I'm definitely removing this shit now, because they don't need no control of it. So today, I wound up calling the bank and I said, look, I don't know what valuation you guys are using, but I need to remove this escrow ASAP. So they said, okay, yes, they confirmed my theory of that they were using my sales price from when I purchased the house several years ago. And they proceeded to tell me, okay, if I wanted to use an updated value, I just have to send them an updated appraisal. And there will be no fee. And once they receive the appraisal and they confirm the valuation, then it takes 30 days for them to remove my escrow from my mortgage payment. I said, say less. Say less. Say less. I called up appraisers that I know. I said, who's available? I'm going to spend a couple $100 on an independent appraisal, and I'll have the report in a week or so. And I'm going to ship it to them, email it to them, however they want it. And then in 30 days after that, so I'm thinking probably top of the year, I won't have no escrow payment. Perfect. I can pay my escrow on my own in 2026. So that was the beginning of this text, of this thread that I put. I put it on Instagram. I just shared the screen. For those of you who just coming in here right now, I'm going to put it back on the screen real quick so you can see it. This was on my Instagram page, MG the Mortgage Guy. Said I'm removing my tax and insurance from my mortgage payment immediately, but I will still pay my monthly escrow into a high yield savings account and earn my own interest. And I'm asking what's the best banks offering the highest APY currently, right? So there's a lot of banks in this comment section. So go to my Instagram page, MG the Mortgage Guy, if you want to get a list of different banks that are offering different percentage rates right now. Right. And yes, I am on a roll. I'm back. I'm back. So that was step one. Right. So for those of you who have equity, who've purchased their home in the past couple years, you have a conventional mortgage. And if you are disciplined, disclaimer, I'm not telling you to do this. I'm not advising anyone to doing this. I'm simply sharing my journey and my story. I'm telling you, if you are disciplined, you should look into this for yourself and make an educated decision if you want to manage your own taxes and insurance by paying it on your own. Different strokes for different folks, ladies and gentlemen, but you got to be disciplined and you got to not spend the money. So and now I haven't decided which bank and which account I'm going to use for my escrow yet. I don't know if it's going to be a money market account. I don't know if it's going to be a high yield savings account. I don't know if I'm gonna put it just into the stock market. I don't know. I gotta have conversations with my tax people to see what the tax implications will be and which route will be the best way to go, because you gotta have a strategy. You gotta have a strategy for everything, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta have a strategy for everything. And I have people that I can talk to, thank God, and who can give me game and give me guidance and let me know a strategy, right? So what I'm going to do, either which way, every single month, and my escrow is expensive. Um, my mortgage payment, it's not a small mortgage payment, and my escrow is not. I live in Long Island, New York, so I'm well over. My escrow, fuck it, it's $30,000 a year, right? I live in Long Island, so it's not. That's not uncommon. So for me, I'm looking at. I got 30,000 a year in escrow. No, it's like 31,000. Now that I do the math in my head, it's like 31,000 in escrow. I'm like, damn, that's 30 in my taxes. You got taxes every quarter basically, and insurance once a year, right? So I'm looking at this as like, why in God's green earth am I letting my insurance money sitting there for a whole year? For what? Now the quarterly taxes thing, why am I letting my money sit there too? I can pay this shit on my own. Even like, so I'm going to figure out what's the best way I'm gonna put this money. Maybe I'm gonna just put the insurance money in the money market or something. I don't know, right? I got to figure this out, and I haven't gotten that far yet. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, because I just had this epiphany 2 days ago when I saw an email and I saw my escrow analysis and made my mortgage payment go, and it pissed me off. And then it just said, why am I even letting them control this? I just pay this shit on my own, right? So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm snatching my money back from the bank, and whatever I decide to do with it, I'm going to put this money into an interest bearing account. I don't give a damn if it's 4 or 5%, right? I don't care, because if it's 31,000, let's just say at 4%, that's $1,240 a year. I want my money. I got a baby. I got 4 kids, and I got a newborn. $1,240, and if it's at 5%, that's $1,500. I need every penny. And if I do this $31,000 right, it could probably make 10%. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's like what I'm thinking, my thought process. It gives me more flexibility. It's also risky. I'm a risk taker though. Full disclosure. I love taking calculated risk. And this is just not for everybody. This is just not for everybody. I want to be very clear. This is strictly for live men and women, not for freshmen. Don't do this if you ain't disciplined. Because again, my mortgage payment is still going to get paid. That monthly nut that I'm accustomed paying with the escrow, I'm still in my head paying that money. It's just half of that now is going to go to the mortgage company, which is going to take care of my principal and interest. And then the other half is going to go to me into some sort of MG escrow account. And that's what I'm going to name the account once I open it. It's going to be called MG Escrow. You know what I'm saying? That's the nickname. So I know this money is dedicated for that. So again, if you have an FHA mortgage and you're just tuning into me right now, you cannot remove your escrow. If you have a conventional mortgage and you have 20% of equity, you can remove your escrow. You can control it on your own. Come up with a plan that works for you and your family. Don't fucking risk it. because remember, taxes are first lien on your property. And if you don't pay your property taxes and you get too many years behind, they will foreclose on you and take your house. Let me repeat that for those of you in the back. Property taxes are first lien on your property. If you do not pay your property taxes, the town you live in, they can foreclose, take your property, and that's that. Now, the bank probably won't allow that to happen because they will lose their investment and they will just pay the damn taxes and make you escrow. Okay. But again, if you are disciplined, you can save, you can invest, you have good habits of doing so, then this might be something that could work for you. If you don't, if you are not someone who can trust yourself with money, if it's going to burn a hole in your pocket, if you think you're going to go to the hookah lounge or the strip club or on vacation with that money because it looks like extra money in your pocket every single month, please don't try this. Please don't do this. Leave it set up the way it is, and you don't wait. That way, you don't have to worry about your house going into foreclosure. Me personally, I'm going to do this. I'm already in the process. I'm getting this done because I don't need them to pay my escrow. I just don't. For what reason? Let it be gone. What else I want to say? Oh, here's another thing I wanted to say, and I'm glad I got a little bit of notes here. Here's another thing I want to say to you. Just because you remove the escrow from your mortgage payment, it doesn't decrease your debt to income ratio. Just because you remove the escrow from your mortgage payment, it does not decrease your debt to income ratio. Meaning, if you try to go buy another property, your taxes and insurance from this property will still be included into your DTI. Are you following? Are you following? Type following in chat, please. Type following in chat, please. Okay. So that's my it's good to know. Yeah, and that's why I brought that up. Y'all got any questions on this particular topic? I thought, it was very important that I give a little bit more detail on this topic because, sometimes people just see a tweet or a thread and it's like, oh, you should give all I was going back and forth with somebody on threads about this. Like, you shouldn't be giving people this advice and this, that, and the third. Like, sir, I'm not giving nobody shit. I didn't tell you to go do this. I just said what I'm doing, and somebody give me some referrals for some banks. You know what I'm saying? Like, in VA and FHA, I would assume VA is the same as FHA because it's a VA loan. So I'm going to assume that VA, you cannot remove your escrow. I don't know 100%, but I'm going to assume that it's the same thing. Okay. Good question, my love, Tiff. Good question, my love, Tiff. And if y'all see me keep looking this way, it's because I'm looking at my other screen over here. Because sometimes it's easier for me to look here than it is right there. Okay. Good information so far. Right? Put a gem in the comment if you thought so far today's program it was some good information that you learned something, right?